This local NBC reporter wrote the following headline about an event in North Idaho. Alt-right group gathers in Coeur D'Alene with SWAT team vibes. Now, I will do full disclosure here. I was at a workout prior to this thing that went on that night. So I have friends who were there. And I will also make another disclosure here. I was intending to go to that ruck, but I couldn't because I got called into a meeting. I'll make one other disclosure. I have reached out to the reporter who likes to be called and is named Andrew, A-N-D-R-U, Zodro, and he or she likes to say, I am a he or a him. And that's on Andrew's profile, he, him. So it's important to Andrew that you understand the pronouns he, him, that Andrew wants those to apply to Andrew. So I want to respect that. What actually went on at this event? I want to read to you from Andrew's piece, and then I'll tell you what actually went on at this event. And you can determine whether Andrew had the evidence that Andrew says Andrew has, so that Andrew can make the claim Andrew made about the people who were there. So I'm going to give Andrew the opportunity that he didn't or she didn't give others. I think it's he, him. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be honest. And I don't mean to be hurtful. I'm just looking at the pronouns and the picture, and I find myself confused. And I just want to honestly admit that. I don't intend to be cruel. So I'll read you the piece. You'll see some videos. You can be the judge of what actually went on there. And I'll try just to say, Andrew, I'm really trying hard to not be hurtful here. I don't want to be hurtful. There's lots of things that could hurt, and sometimes you're told that it's just something you have to live with. Imagine this. Imagine a scenario where you have been out, let's say, doing something you love, riding a horse, you've been, I don't know, maybe cliff climbing, you've been wall climbing, riding your bike, and something horrible happens, and you are smacked. Boom! You're knocked off your bike, you fall off your horse, you know you're hurt. You're out rock climbing, you make a bad climb, you forget the rules of threes, and you fall, and there's that sound, and something cracks, and you know you're hurt. So what comes after that? Maybe it's that you've got these buzzing in your limbs, or maybe you go to a doctor and says, wow, you know what? You are going to have surgery. There's no way around this. Maybe you're skiing and there's that horrible twisting feeling in your knee. Something cracks, something bumps, and you're told that's it. You need surgery. The ACL, the MCL are gone. What if that's not true? What if you don't actually need surgery? What if you could avoid being cut open? And what if you could do this in about 3 or 4 days in a beautiful place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico? You can. What if you could find out to a high level of certainty whether or not you could get help without getting cut open? You can. What if it's as simple as going to RENUE, that's renew, spelled RENUE .healthcare. Renew.healthcare. It is. So how would that work? The people at Renew will look at your MRI and they will examine it. They'll get on the phone with you or video call. They'll talk about how you're feeling, your range of motion, what you can do now. And then a Harvard-certified surgeon, in all likelihood, it'll be Dr. Chavez, will make a recommendation. They'll come back and they'll tell you, we think we are 90% able to help you. There's enough tissue there. There's enough of what we can grab onto. Maybe it's cartilage has been torn, cartilage is gone. They'll tell you, we think we can rebuild this, and here's how they'll do it. You fly down there. You're going to sit in the hyperbaric chamber, which is this amazing experience. They're going to inject you with stem cells that come only from umbilical cords and placentas, never anything to do with abortion. The strain of stem cells I've used twice, have never been exposed to the mRNA injections, not once. Those cells get in there, they attack the inflammation, then they instantly begin rebuilding your tissue, be it cartilage, muscle, tendon. And you can avoid that surgery. So go to renew.healthcare. It's RENUE.healthcare. Here's the piece. Let's read through this together because it sounds like a horribly, horribly scary evening in Coeur D'Alene. Again, this is the headline. Alt-right group gathers in Coeur D'Alene with SWAT team vibes. This is the picture of the reporter, Andrew Zodro. I'm not trying to be harmful. I'm not trying to be hurtful. I'm using the pronouns because Andrew feels the pronouns are important, and I admit to being confused. Here is the story. A group of alternative right activists gathered in Coeur d'Alene Saturday for a 756 dark rally in McEwen Park. The gathering, billed as an anti-human sex trafficking event, was co-organized by Caleb Altemeyer, the founder of Helping Captives, an organization with informal ties to the Arizona anti-government outfit Veterans on Patrol, according to the Inlander. While Altmeyer's interacted with Veterans on Patrol members, he told the Inlander there's no official partnership between his organization and the Arizona group. Helping Captives captured headlines in February when it purchased Deja Vu, a former adult club in Spokane Valley. During a men's revival and stage smashing, a group of men violently destroyed the stage. The stage smashing itself is so disingenuous. To say we're turning this place of exploitation into a place of God is not right when we were there consensually, one dancer told the Review. Helping Captives could not be reached for an interview Saturday evening. Individuals wearing heavy vests and carrying weapons could be seen walking around the park Saturday night. According to the event's website, the rally is meant to evoke law enforcement while supporting victims of human trafficking. Experience a powerful 75.6-minute ruck around McEwen Park together in unity. Think SWAT team vibes under this Coeur D'Alene night sky, promotional materials said. In addition to the connections with alt-right groups, the event also shares ties with notable media personalities. Co-organizer Nate Lewis is a former movie director who now hosts a podcast called The War on Innocence. Multiple anti-government agency groups have been in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane in the past years, including American Patriots 3%, which is classified as an anti-government extremist group by the Anti-Defamation League, and the Patriot Front, which is classified as a white supremacist group. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, 25 hate and anti-government groups are active in Idaho in 2023, with the majority of their activities clustered in the Coeur d'Alene area and Boise. So let's go back through this real quick. And I will tell you, I reached out twice to Andrew, once via email, once via text message. Andrew did not reply. I gave Andrew the courtesy that Andrew didn't give the people at the rally that he has chosen to call alt-right activists. He chose that for them. That's what they are now, according to Andrew. Let's go through some of this. The gathering billed as an anti-trafficking event, anti-human trafficking event. It was billed as it? That's how it was billed? What was it? What was it? He says it was billed as this. So what was it? Andrew, what was it? See, the suggestion here is this was a bait and switch. That's how it was billed. It was billed as an anti-trafficking event, which was co-organized by Caleb Altemeyer, the founder of Helping Captives, an organization with informal ties to the Arizona anti-government outfits Veterans on Patrol, according to the Inlander. Let's pause. What does Helping Captives do? Oh, they're an anti-government group. They are? Oh, no, it says they have an informal tie to the Arizona anti-government outfit. So, wait. So, Andrew is quoting the Inlander as the sole source of this information. The Inlander talks with people in the sex trafficking industry. Oh, so wait. Andrew has informal ties to the sex trafficking industry. Oh, okay. So, this is an or no, let me say it his way. This is a pro-sex trafficking writer billed as a local NBC journalist. See how the game works, Andrew? I mean, you've got these informal ties. Andrew chooses to not say what Helping Captives does. What do they do? You know what you could have done? Gone to their website. I know what they do. Want to know what they do? They help people get out of being sex trafficked. That's what they do. It's not how they're billed. It's what they do. While Altemeyer has interacted with Veteran on Patrol members, he told the Inlander there's no official partnership between his organization and the Arizona group. Why is this at the top of your piece? Isn't it who, what, where, when, why? Isn't that journalism? Who, what, where, when, why? Then there's this, Helping Captives captured. They captured it. They seized it. They seized the headlines. The headlines were sitting there, and Helping Captives came along, and they brought guns and ARs, and they seized the headlines. They captured them. They captured when it purchased Deja Vu, a former adult club in the Spokane Valley. During a men's revival and stage smashing, a group of men violently destroyed the stage. Violently. With their weapons. Destroying wood. I grew up in Spokane. Deja Vu was notorious for harming women. Yeah, there are people who take off their clothes in front of audiences because they choose to. And there are people who do it because they've been cornered. Crazy thing. When a human being has been sex trafficked, they've been come to believe that's the only thing that matters about them. They actually come to believe the lie that this is what they were designed for. It's all they can do. Your mind will do funny things to you. This is all I can do. This is the only way I can eat. Maybe you don't know people like that. I do. I grew up around a girl. She was my dad's best friend's daughter. And she and I ended up dating for a bit. And I guess, at that young age, I felt what I thought was love for her. Definitely felt close. I mean, we used to call each other cousins, not to be weird, but that's what we called each other. We weren't. I found out that she was a cocaine addict. And that her father, her birth father, had turned her out. She went to stay with him in Seattle, and he turned her out. And she was 15, and he forced her to sexually service men in front of him for money. And she became very promiscuous. And I'm ashamed to say that as a young man, I mean, that was kind of cool. I hate it. She taught me about these places. She taught me about places like Deja Vu. Later on in media, I met a lot of women who would tell you, yeah, I do this by choice, until you really talk to them. What other choice do I have? This is what I am. Here's a piece that Andrew chooses to not have in his piece because he chose to not talk to these groups. Another thing happened when they did this stage smashing, when they bought this place, this notorious place of exploitation. Some women came in and said, hey, we can't believe you're doing this. You don't understand. This is really good for us. Here we had bouncers. Out there, we've got pimps. Here we chose with whom we did private dances. Out there, we had to do whatever the pimp said. You know what the founders of Helping Captives were able to do? Say, no, you don't understand. We're here to help you get retrained. We're here to help you have jobs that don't involve men abusing your bodies. We're here to help you with this starting now. Maybe this is a place you can work. You can work with people who've been through this like you. You know what it is to be victimized. Help us not create other victims. They didn't understand the full mission. Then this piece of Andrew's writing, where he somehow makes it weird or dangerous that Nate Lewis is a former director who now produces a podcast called The War on Innocence. You know what else he does? He arms police departments to prevent pedophiles from getting access to girls. They put up one single post of a 14-year-old girl, fake girl. And I think Nate said in one day they had 4 responses. Within a couple of days, they had 64 responses from men who wanted to inflict their sexual desires on the body of a 14-year-old girl. And they help cops in small towns be able to fight this stuff because traffickers and pedophiles understand that small town police forces don't have the resources to fight all this. That's the reality of what this event was. Andrew could have written a follow-up on this. Andrew did not. Andrew relies on the Inlander and the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is a picture of the founder of the Southern Poverty Law Center, who at one time was sort of a respectable guy, Morris Days. But let's read something from Politico about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Then I'll get you some video of the event so you can see how utterly horrifying this event was. This is from the Politico, and it asks this question. It asks, has the Southern Poverty Law Center lost its way? The complaints have trailed the Southern Poverty Law Center as the group has expanded beyond its crusade against racial discrimination in the South. increasingly taking up the left flank of the culture wars on issues like LGBT, so-called T rights, church-state division, Islam, and immigration. The new approach has prompted accusations of overreach. The Southern Poverty Law Center included Senator Rand Paul and Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson among the neo-Nazi and white supremacists on its extremist list. Paul for suggesting businesses shouldn't have to adhere to the Civil Rights Act and criticizing the Fair Housing Act. Carson for his views opposing same-sex marriage. I'm not sure, but I think we can check. I should have pulled up a picture. I didn't pull up a picture. I think Dr. Ben Carson. Wait, hold on. I think I got this wrong. Guys, we might have to start the whole recording again because I was about to say Ben Carson's black. Dude's not black. Dr. Ben Carson? He's a black dude. He's not a Nazi or a white supremacist. But Andrew Zudro says the Southern Poverty Law Center. Why is that in this piece? Why is there a closing paragraph saying there are hate groups in Idaho? Because it's the game of indictment by association. This is back to this political piece. In October, the Southern Poverty Law Center faced explosive blowback when it included British Muslim activist Majid Nawaz on the list of anti-Muslim extremists. A Muslim is an anti-Muslim extremist, according to the people at the Southern Poverty Law Center, which Andrew Zudro uses to indict everybody at this rally as being anti or alt-right activists. I got to tell you something. I have friends who were at this rally. I talked to a friend of mine. She was pretty stunned to find out she is an alt-right activist when she's going to vote for RFK Jr. Another one of my friends who will not look at anything political, hates politics, doesn't vote. Wow, I'm an alt-right extremist. Here's some video. Cole, we'll run some of these videos and show some of these images, and I'll do what I can to kind of translate for people. But this is what was going on. The 756 dark thing, by the way, this is because 756,000 kids go missing every year in trafficking. 756,000. That's why they chose that number. And we roll through these videos, you're going to see the horrifying reality. People had candles and stuff, and they prayed. I mean, they sat there and they prayed to Jesus. That's some alt-right garbage, man. There were people with strollers taking their little babies on the walks. There are healthcare providers who took time off to be at this event. There's single women.
Young girls, 12 years old.
The other people who were there, one of them sent me a private note. She knows what that damage can be. Trafficking. They're still looking for her sister. Her sister went off the rails when she was 16 and was being trafficked by the time she was 18. They'd like to have her home. Facebook comments to Andrew Zudro. And again, I invited Andrew twice to come on to give a comment. Andrew chose not to do this. Nicole Holmes writing on Facebook, I'm shocked after reading this article. I attended the event solely to raise awareness about human trafficking. It was neither political nor dangerous. No weapons were involved. We walked together wearing a weighted vests in a SWAT team style to symbolize our support for those missing or impacted by human trafficking. The event was both powerful and informative, shedding light on what is happening to our children. I hope the article will be revised to highlight the positive impact and acknowledge the hard work Erin is dedicated to her cause to help innocents and help humans and children. Personally, this is a good lesson to not believe everything the media reports. The article couldn't be further from the truth. Yikes. Amber Van Dwyn, I'm incredibly proud to have participated in the Dark 756 fundraising event this past Saturday at the park. All proceeds from the event were directed to 3 local anti-trafficking organizations, The Innocent, Helping Captives, and 756 Dark. Each of these organizations is doing vital work to combat this pressing issue, and it was heartening to contribute to their efforts. The night ruck was a powerful experience as we carried weighted packs to symbolize the burden of the crisis. Walking together as families, we united in awareness and solidarity for those who've been impacted. The event concluded with a beautiful candlelight vigil and moments of silence, allowing us to reflect on the gravity of this topic. It's disheartening to see negative portrayals like the article from KHQ when the essence of our gathering was rooted in compassion and community support. Let's not be misled. The Dark 756 event was about raising awareness and fostering hope. Thank you to everyone who participated in this important cause. Together we can make a difference. And I could continue through many of the comments. I'll get to just one other. This is from a man we've been doing all women. This is Zach Greenfield. I brought my daughters to this event so they could understand the horrifying reality of child sex trafficking or child trafficking in our nation. The entire event was about protecting our children from child predators. And this morning, I showed them this biased news article as a lesson on how mainstream media often distorts the truth for the sake of division and controversy. It's critical that they learn to see through this kind of slant and focus. Shame on you, KHQ News. And I just follow up with Andrew Zodro. Andrew, if you want to come on and discuss your coverage, do. Or issue a comment. But can I make something else? I am genuinely confused by your photo. And I know this is an upsetting topic for people. I understand this can cause great emotion. I read the he, him in there. I cannot agree that a man can become a woman or a woman can become a man, but I'm making the effort. I emailed you and I texted you out of respect for a colleague. I get it. I do opinion. So do you. And the common response is, I don't want to become the story. You made people who are nurses, therapists, apolitical, and Democrats with the magic wand of media power, you turn them into alt-right activists. You know, the pronouns in your profile, you clearly think that's important because you clearly believe that indicates respect for you. Do you have enough respect to just get in touch with these people and apologize? Or maybe to actually look into not what the event was billed as, but what it actually was? Honestly, I'll pray for you on this. And I bet there's some things we could even agree on, Andrew.